How Americans rebuild credit with secured cards. Imagine needing a credit card but having no credit history at all. This is a reality for millions of Americans. Official data shows that roughly 7 million US adults have no credit record. Others have such poor or limited credit histories that banks will not extend credit. A limited credit history can create real barriers. It can affect your ability to qualify for a mortgage, finance a car, rent an apartment, or even pass certain employment screenings. If your FICO score is very low, or if you do not have a score at all, you might think you are stuck. But there is a legal and widely available way to begin breaking that cycle. It is called a secured credit card. With a secured card, you put down a refundable cash deposit and receive a real credit card. For example, you might deposit $500 and receive a $500 credit limit. The deposit acts as collateral. It protects the bank if you fail to pay what you owe. Because the bank faces less risk, people with limited or damaged credit may have a better chance of qualifying. But here is the first surprise. A secured credit card is not a prepaid card. You are not simply spending the money you deposited. When you use the card, you are borrowing from the issuer. You still receive a monthly bill, and you must pay that bill from your own funds. Your security deposit does not make the monthly payments for you. The deposit is usually locked while the account remains secured. If you close the account with no unpaid balance, the issuer should return it. Some issuers may eventually upgrade the account to an unsecured card and refund the deposit, while the account remains open. But there is no universal 6-month rule. One issuer may begin reviewing accounts after several months. Another may take a year or longer. Some cards do not offer automatic graduation at all. Responsible use improves your chances, but time alone does not guarantee that your deposit will be returned early. Now consider the most important question. Does the issuer report the account to Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion? If it does not, the card may do little to build the credit history that future lenders can see. The deposit itself does not raise your score. Opening the account does not erase previous damage. What matters is the information reported over time. That information includes whether you pay on time, how much of your limit you use, and how long the account remains open. Payment history is one of the most influential factors in common credit scoring models. A late payment can damage the very record you are trying to rebuild. Setting automatic payment for at least the minimum due can provide an important safety net. Paying the full statement balance is even better because it helps you avoid interest. And yes, a secured card can still charge a high annual percentage rate. You may pay interest while the bank is also holding your cash deposit. That is why carrying a balance defeats much of the purpose. You do not need to pay interest to build credit. You do not need to make large purchases either. A small recurring charge, followed by an on-time payment, may be enough to create a positive payment history. Credit utilization matters too. Imagine a secured card with a $300 limit. If the reported balance is $270, the account may appear almost maxed out. Even if you pay the balance later, the amount reported on the statement date may still affect your score. Keeping the reported balance low is generally better than repeatedly approaching the limit. Federal Reserve research found that secured card borrowers who paid their balances in full were more likely to graduate to unsecured cards. Borrowers who became delinquent kept their accounts inactive, or used more than 80% of their limits, were less likely to graduate. That does not mean paying in full guarantees an upgrade. It means your behavior matters. A secured card is not simply a deposit and wait program. It is a test of how you manage revolving credit. So how quickly can it change your score? There is no honest timeline that applies to everyone. Someone with no credit file may need enough reported history before a score can even be generated. Someone rebuilding after missed payments, collections, or bankruptcy may need much longer. A new secured card does not make accurate negative information disappear. You may notice movement within several months, but meaningful rebuilding can take a year or more. The more serious the previous damage, the more patience the process may require. There is also a cost that rarely appears in advertisements. Your deposit is unavailable while the bank is holding it. For a household living paycheck to paycheck, locking away to $100-$500 or $1,000 can weaken the emergency fund. That money might otherwise cover groceries, a medical bill, a car repair, or rent. A secured card may be useful, but it should not leave you unable to handle the next emergency. Fees deserve the same attention. Some secured cards charge annual fees, application fees, maintenance fees, or other charges. A fee can reduce the credit you actually have available. Before applying, compare the annual percentage rate, deposit requirement, annual fee, late fees, and graduation policy. Most importantly, confirm that the account reports to all three major credit bureaus. Who benefits most from this product? It may help a young adult establishing a first credit history. It may help a newcomer to the United States whose financial history did not transfer into the American system. It may help someone recovering from bankruptcy or years of missed payments. It can also serve a person who has some cash available but cannot qualify for an unsecured card. But a secured card is not the only option. Some credit unions offer credit builder loans. A trusted family member may add you as an authorized user. Some services may also report eligible rent or utility payments. Each option has different costs, risks, and limitations. Before applying, check your credit reports. Look for accounts that do not belong to you, incorrect late payments, duplicate collections, or outdated information. Disputing a genuine error can sometimes be more valuable than opening another account. But accurate negative information generally cannot be erased simply because it hurts your score. Also, avoid applying for card after card. Multiple applications can create hard inquiries and may signal financial stress. Use pre-qualification tools when available. Pre-qualification often uses a soft inquiry, although it does not guarantee final approval. Here is a practical strategy. Choose a secured card with no annual fee if possible. Confirm that it reports to all three major credit bureaus. Deposit only an amount you can afford to leave untouched. Place one or two predictable expenses on the card. Keep the balance low. Set automatic payment. Pay the statement balance in full. Review your credit reports regularly, and do not close the account immediately after your score begins to rise. Banks reduce their risk by holding consumers' cash. Card issuers can still earn money from interest and fees. That does not automatically make a secured card unfair. The real question is whether the product gives you a genuine path toward ordinary credit at a reasonable cost. A good secured card can provide that path. A fee-heavy card that never graduates may keep you paying without delivering the same long-term value. The strongest lesson is simple. A secured credit card does not repair credit because you handed a bank a deposit. It works only when the issuer reports useful information and you create a record of controlled borrowing. The deposit opens the door. Your behavior determines what happens after you walk through it. So before locking away your money, ask one final question. Is this card giving you a real path toward better credit? Or are you paying for the appearance of progress?